This is the Consciously Created brand with me, Kirsty McGill. The Consciously Created brand is for the artists, creators, makers and curators, consciously creating businesses that aim to do better, putting planet and people over profit. Hello, welcome to the first proper episode of the Consciously Created brand podcast. Today the topic is it time to start working with vegan business owners? And this episode is going out in January, as most people know, or Veganuary, as it's sort of now become known. And so, Happy New Year and Happy Veganuary to you too. Today is just going to be a kind of casual conversation about it, just some thoughts that I've had. I haven't overly researched it, or it's not going to be a deep, in-depth discussion around it. I hope that you've had a really good festive period, enjoyed Christmas, maybe got a bit of a break before getting back into the swing of things. So, Veganuary, the exciting time for vegans when suddenly everyone has a new exciting offering. But of course, it's only for this month. That's whether you end up liking it or not. You know that probably come February, it'll all be gone again. I've been vegan myself now for 5 years. I didn't actually get started myself during Veganuary. I think it was June or July time. Funnily enough, I think I remember feeling like I'd missed the kind of Veganuary boat that year, but I decided to try it anyway. So I've not quite been through that experience myself. I do remember a few years before that, I think I did try a challenge for a little while to go vegan, but I didn't stick with it at the time. But of course, now I've been vegan for 5 years. I can't see myself ever changing back from that. And of course, it's about more than just what you're eating. It's about the lifestyle and the choices that you make there. As a business owner, the fact that I'm a vegan business owner is part of my branding a little bit. I mention it on my website. I'm not pushing it, and it's not a huge part of it, but I do acknowledge that I am, and sort of say it as a little bit of a selling point, I guess, in that if there is other people that align with my ethics there, that they know that I am vegan. And I also list out other steps that I take, such as, eco-hosting and trying to make my website greener, being part of Ecology, where they plant trees each month. And it's just little things like that. But for me, it's obviously a big part of my life and important to me. When I first started this business, I was looking at sort of different communities to join, and then I came across the Vegan Business Tribe, and I've been a member of their online community since. And obviously, as in the name, it's for vegan business owners, and it's kind of got me thinking about whether vegan businesses should hire other vegan service providers. So whether you're a product-based business or services too, and if you're vegan, or if the product that you sell is vegan, then should you hire other vegans, basically? And of course, it's always nice when your ethics align with the people that you are working with, right? As a vegan brand and website designer myself, I might be slightly biased when I talk about this in my viewpoint. But actually, I do know for myself that at this stage, I wouldn't strictly only work with vegan clients. And it's also not an absolute criteria for me if I was looking for help with my business, because ultimately we do want to find the right people that can deliver the results for our project. It needs to be within our budget. They need to be able to do the work, if we're talking about design, in a style that you like, for example, or have other things that match up and that that then they'll be the right person for you. And their kind of life may or may not be a factor in it. I think, like with anything else, if it was a religious thing or other beliefs or something, you are naturally going to feel slightly more aligned with people that do share similar lifestyles with you, for example, or similar beliefs and values. But it probably isn't the only consideration, and you might choose also to not factor it in when making decisions about who you're going to hire or work with. Just like, I think if I was looking for someone to work with for support at the moment, for me, I'm a busy mum and also trying to, run business. I might not have as much understanding from someone who wasn't a mum if I was, say, looking for sort of a business coach, for example, Whereas if they also had children or have young children, they can really understand like the sort of situation that I'm in, and then they're able to help more maybe, or they just have that understanding. And I think that's kind of the same as what I was trying to say. If you're a vegan business and you're working with another vegan, one of the first things that I thought about was, if you're a vegan or ethical business, is, especially nowadays, I think there's more and more of a push towards transparency, where you are saying on your website, you know, the values, and you might list who you work with. And certainly, for example, as a website designer, often website designers do have they put in the footer of the websites they're building, you know, website by and the company name. If you have that on your website, people are going to see who has done your website and might click across. Now, you wouldn't want to be seen to be working with someone who has a portfolio full of projects that do not align with your brand ethics. If you are a vegan business and then this person's portfolio is full of meat-based products or other industries that you disagree with, your customers could click across and see that, which wouldn't look great. It might mean as well that they would have other practices that you wouldn't particularly like or want to be associated with too. Equally, I think that you can have the benefit of, if you are working with someone who is vegan, you've got a vegan brand, they're going to kind of know and understand the lifestyle behind it, the values behind it, and more than someone that isn't vegan at all. So that can be just a good starting point, really. And they're also going to kind of understand a bit about your customers and the journey that they are on. I don't know how true this is, but I do think often if someone is vegan, often there is a link with caring about environmental stuff too, or societal issues. And a lot of that sort of values will come through too in working with them. It's definitely something I've noticed. So I think if things like that are important to you, you might get the extra benefit if you are seeking out another vegan owner to work with, that they will have other sort of supporting beliefs and values that will translate across into the work. So, for example, again with myself, I care about being a bit more eco-conscious, and so I have taken the time to kind of learn about greener graphic designs and greener websites, and I can bring those skills too, and it's not just about being vegan. Like I mentioned, I'm part of the vegan business tribe, which is all about sort of supporting other vegan business owners, and they want to make sure that it's the vegan businesses that are succeeding. I'm also part of a Vegan Founded. You basically can apply if you're a vegan, if you run a vegan owned business, and their whole argument is about not funding non-vegan businesses and lifestyles. So they talk about, you know, how McDonald's, for example, brings out the vegan burger, but they don't care about the vegan lifestyle. They don't care about those beliefs. They are just bringing a product to market because there's a market for it. And that's kind of what they care about. They say that if you are supporting vegan business owners, you're not funding non-vegan lifestyles. Just another thought I've had as well. At this point, I think where it's not hugely mainstream, often if you are looking at potentially working with another vegan business owner, you're going to be supporting a small business too, which is obviously a nice thing. And same with a lot of the businesses that have vegan products. So there's that nice extra aspect there too. On the other hand, the other side of the argument is, I think ultimately for most business owners, you of course want the person that can do the work, and if they're vegan, that's a cherry on top. But you're not going to necessarily, if you can find someone that could do the work better, because maybe there is less options of a vegan service provider or other vegan business that can work with you, and if you can't quite get what you need, then you are going to go somewhere else, and that's okay too. There's many factors to consider when you're looking to work with someone, from the personality to the working style to the work that they can do. Or maybe you've built up separate relationships with other people. You know, I'm not only in vegan business communities, there's other ones that I am in because, for example, like one that's for parents, and I'm I might have you create relationships in these other places, and so if there's someone that you've got to know and that you want to work with that's not just solely from a vegan community, perhaps. My recommendation for this week is checking out the Vegan Business Tribe. If you would like to support other vegan businesses, they have an amazing directory that you can find people that you could work with in your vegan business. And equally, if you are a vegan business or vegan business owner, they are a great place to join for quite a low monthly fee, where you can meet others and you can join networking as well as get support for your business. I hope if you are a vegan, which if you're listening to it, that you're either interested in that or likely that you are, then I hope you have a fantastic Veganuary. Enjoy all the goodies that are here. And yeah, give it a thought. Let me know what you think. I'd be happy to hear whether it's something you'd specifically seek out, is working with another vegan business owner, or if it's not at the top of your priorities. Yeah, I'd love to know what you think of today's episode. You can message me on Instagram at Elmleaf Studio.